Welcome everyone to Do More, Be More. Today we are talking about cheat meals. Why are we talking about cheat meals? Because for some reason people think we need them. And I'll tell you all about that in just 1 second. But are they necessary? What is the point of them? Do they help you? Do they make things worse? Stick around because that is coming up right now. Welcome everyone to Do More, Be More. Alright, so the common, I don't want to say misconception, whatever, the definition that a lot of people would give to a cheat meal may vary. Some people might think that a cheat meal is a sweet food or some kind of dessert you'll have after any meal. Some people will think that a cheat meal is anything that is not within your meal plan. Other people will think foods that make you fat. Whatever the case is, they have their own definition for it. Essentially, a cheat meal would be, if you take the word cheat out of context, cheating is basically when you're not doing what you're supposed to, right? So let's say you have a meal plan that says you can only have bread. Having meat is cheating because you're not supposed to have meat. If you're supposed to have, now let's talk about being in your macros, for example. Let's say you only have to have 100 grams of protein a day and you only have 50, well, you didn't technically cheat because you didn't go over, but you didn't do what you were supposed to. But if you had 150 grams of protein, you went over, you cheated. Somehow, according to that principle, that is cheating. So let's talk about calories, for example. If you were supposed to have 1,500, let's say 2,000 calories in one day, and you ended up having 2,500 calories a day, that would be considered cheating. So the meal that made you go over that is considered cheating. So it doesn't matter what food it was because collectively all of them added up to 2,500. So was it really one meal that caused you to caused you to go to 2,500? No, because that meal would have stayed there and something else would have been taken away, and then another meal came in. That would have been the meal that made you go over, and then that would have been the cheat meal. So based on this weird, confusing principle, can any food be a cheat meal? Yes. It doesn't have to necessarily mean that a food that you like is a cheat meal. And that's why people will not eat the things they want, because they think that those are the cheat meals. They think that those are the ones that are making them naughty, not comply with their meal plan. So if you're having a meal that is making you go over your calories, you can replace that, you can change it into something else and make it fit your macros, and you're no longer cheating, and you're still having the food that you want. So let's say, for example, you were supposed to have 2,000 calories. You had 1,500 calories for the day. It's 9 o'clock, and you wanted, let's say, an ice cream sandwich, just for example. That ice cream sandwich was valued at about 300 calories. So you're at 1,500. You're supposed to be under 2,000. That ice cream sandwich brings you up to 1,800 calories. So you're under the 2,000. So you're not cheating yet. Is that ice cream sandwich a cheat meal? No. That ice cream sandwich is within compliance of what you set yourself to eat. You see what I'm getting? That's why when I say, and I've said this in my TikTok videos before, if you're smart, you will never have a you will never have a cheat meal in your life. That does not mean, and I think a lot of people may have seen it that way, it does not mean that I never have foods that I like, or that I'll take any actual good food and make it my own version. No, that's not what that means, because if I wanted to have a meal that I didn't make it my way and I had it at a restaurant and it was under their rules of how they make it, I could still fit it in my macros and it won't be cheap, and I'll have it exactly as I wanted it to be, not modified to fit my needs. Now, the thing about cheat meals is there can be some sanity to it, which I will discuss in 1 second. Oh, and by the way, it's an awesome day. If you don't mind, I'll just show you real quick. It's a beautiful day. It's super hot though. Got a nice little pond here. Only 10 minutes away. I didn't really have to go far. And it's just nice knowing that these things are all around us if you look well enough. So my camera's good, all right. There it is, good. So let's get back to business. Cheat meals, meaning let's say there is a food that does put you over, but you really want to have it plain. You mind? Okay. So let's say I am officially at 2,000, right? Or let's say I'm at 1,800, which means I have 200 calories left. And there's a couple of, no, let's say I'm at 1,700, just for the fun of it. And I want Halo Top ice cream. The entire pint is 290 calories for the vanilla, which means I get to have an entire pint of ice cream, and I'm still within my macros, and I get a 20 grams of protein, which is awesome. Look into Halo Top, by the way. So let's say I stick with that. I'm still technically under my calorie goals. But let's say I don't want Halo Top. Let's say I want Haagen-Dazs. If I don't have that Haagen-Dazs, I'm not saying that this is always going to be the case, but there's a chance that if I don't have it then and there, I may want it on a different occasion. So, if for my own sanity, I'm thinking I'm just depriving myself too much, let me just have what I want, I'll enjoy that dish. And I said this before in a video too. If I prepare a cheat meal or any kind of meal that I want, something indulgent, my mind is going to be thinking about that, and I'm going to be looking forward to it. It's going to be good news that's coming up, and I think we can all agree everybody likes food. So think of whatever food that you like, and you just tell yourself, well, you know what? I have a fitness goal that I have, a fitness plan that I have, a meal plan that I have that I enjoy, that I can do forever. So this one day of having this is not really going to do anything for me. You're never going to lose weight in one day, at least not significantly. So you're never going to gain weight significantly either. So have that pint of ice cream, have that slice of pizza or two. You know, again, just jump back on track to that plan that you already liked anyway, and you should be fine. Which is why it's important to like your meal plans. That's why it's important to prepare them. If you don't want to, then don't listen to me and just go ahead and have fun guessing whatever. Because you don't want to write anything down or track anything, which by the way is only temporary, so there you go. In my video where I was saying trying to remember the video now, but I will put it in the cards and you will be able to see the steak that I had there. I remember I was at about 1,200 calories that day just because it was a busy day and I didn't have a whole lot of time to eat. And I was also somewhat low on protein and I was going to work. And I got out at 9 o'clock and I thought to myself, man, I really want some, I need some protein and I have a decent amount of calories left. What should I have? And that's when I thought, you know what, I want a steak. And I remember I had a ribeye and I had a New York steak in the fridge. But it was late. I didn't want to have the ribeye because I also didn't want to eat too heavy because I didn't want to go to sleep without a problem. It's not that the New York strip was all that much smaller, but I went ahead and I had that 16-ounce New York strip steak, which, if you look in the video, you'll see that it's a pretty decently sized steak. That ended up going to about 800 calories, so I went over my calorie deficit numbers by 100. But I'm not in a deficit. I'm still in a deficit. Technically, I'm not in a deficit no more. Now I'm in calorie maintenance. So I'm actually not gaining weight yet. I'm still, because remember, there's deficit, there's another range for maintenance, and then there's another range for surplus. So as far as I'm concerned, I never gained any weight. I got to have a 16-ounce New York strip steak, 9 o'clock after work because I felt like it. And even if I went over, let's say at one day I would have gone over and gained a little bit of extra calories, not even all, I wouldn't have gained the pound, there's no way. Well, so what? I got a strip steak. I enjoyed it. It was delicious. And other people are out there eating salads. I mean, who's having a better life? I had to do a little bit of counting, but there's other people that have to have salads at 7 o'clock and they can't have any more meals after because they have no idea what they're eating or what they're on or what they're up to. So really get engage doing some monitoring your foods and things of that sort if you want to have full control of it. If you don't want to do it, then that's fine. You can still lose weight. And I do wish that it works for you. I'm just saying that this has its benefits. So that is all for today. I do appreciate the support you've been giving me. Continue to leave comments in the comment section because that's where comment sections belong. Remember to follow me on Facebook, on TikTok, and on Instagram. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. You already know, everybody, if you do more, you will be more.